In exactly 343 days, I'll be transitioning from full-time law enforcement officer to full-time entrepreneurship. I want you guys to go on the journey with me. It's going to be tough. It's going to be some good times. It's going to be some bad times, but it's something that God's calling me for. So I got to do it. I want y'all to come on the journey with me. A little bit about me: 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, 24 years federal law enforcement, and by the time I retire, it'll be 25 years. I started first a credit repair business in approximately a year and a half ago. It's been successful. Now, entrepreneurship is a little bit, or should I say a lot of bit different from law enforcement, in which I've learned. I've learned the good, I've learned the bad. But one thing I'll say is I'm transitioning into branding the whole thing. So that's kind of where this comes in. It's kind of like what we call building a brand, and come on the journey with me. So my company is D1 Global Solutions. That's the umbrella over all the D1 different companies within it. You know, we got D1 Credit Repair, which is my credit repair company where we help veterans, law enforcement officers, and first responders with overcome credit challenges. And we got D1 Education, where we got series of ebooks and different things like that, courses, and doing a great job with that. So you may ask, where do we get D1 from? My first son, I got 4 kids. My first son, we homeschooled him from 4th grade all the way to 8th grade. Me and my wife, we kind of did like an Olympic type situation where she did the education. She was in corporate, totally left that situation to full-time kind of teaching him. So she was doing the education side with him, and I was doing the sports as far as basketball. I had my job still, and I just changed my shift to where I could get in the gym with him on a daily basis. So we had 2 workouts a day, and then he'll come home. She'll handle the rest as far as school and things like that. He's a very small guard, and that was just our route, knowing that, you know, we wanted to get ahead of the competition. We're here in Chicago, so everything was in the basketball world and probably just sports world in general, but especially in basketball, everybody wants to go D1. That's the thing. D1. I want to play D1. I want to do this. D1, D1, D1. So that's where I end up naming the company D1 and going with that branding, and it's stuck. I love it. So you may say, why retirement now? Some people say I look young for retirement, but when you retire from federal law enforcement, I'm the youngest you can be. I started in law enforcement when I was 22, so you can guess my age. But yeah, I feel like God has called me for another calling. I've always had entrepreneurship in my mind. God has always put that in me since I was like 16, 17. But going to the Marine Corps and then coming out, joining the law enforcement, and then having kids, entrepreneurship, I always kind of did things on the side, but I couldn't quit my job. I didn't have that much courage to do that. So that's where this comes in now, to where I feel like I'm ready. It's going to be a lot of ups, a lot of downs. And it's already been in the last year and a half, 2 years. There's been a lot of ups and downs. So I want you guys to follow me within that. Follow me within that, and I'm going to show y'all the good. I'm going to show you the bad, and kind of go from there. So as I get closer to retirement, I know it's going to get even more scarier. Building this brand is stressful at times. Financially, it's a lot. You know, having a credit repair company, dealing with clients, dealing with customer service, dealing with sales, dealing with marketing. It's a real business, and it's extremely stressful at times. And people say, like, why would you do that? But I never want to live regular. That's why I do it. And I feel like it's coming from God. I know it's coming from God. So I got to do it. I got to do it, and I got to follow this journey. So the thing was, I joined a mastermind recently. Shout out to ET, Hip Hop Preacher, my family over there. I joined his mastermind, and I was just a credit repair company. I was just me, Ahmad Henderson, with a credit repair company. Then once I joined the mastermind, which I've joined it like 2.5 months ago, they showed me the importance of branding. That's where they opened up my mind to not just having a credit repair company, but me being a financial literacy coach, what I call financial empowerment coach. That's what I'm focusing on now, being a financial empowerment coach for law enforcement officers, first responders. That's the niche that I'm going into. That's what my passion is. And those are the individuals that I really, really want to help and teach. Want them to be a part of my journey. I be a part of their journey, and go from there. But anybody who has any issues, whether you're in law enforcement or not, hey, we help you. We help you at D1 credit repair. But, you know, that's the niche that I kind of go to. And I really want to help those individuals because I've been there and I know how it is. So you may ask, why the financial space, and why, like, you know, with the law enforcement and things like that? Within law enforcement, after the Marine Corps, difficult. I filed for bankruptcy. I've had repos. I've had foreclosure. Going on that basketball journey, anybody that has kids in different sports, whether it's basketball or baseball, it's extremely expensive. But once we were dialed in, my wife and I, once we were locked in with getting my son to the next level, and I end up coaching and all that, we were going to get there by any means. So that means our credit went to crap, and it was crazy. But at the time, it didn't matter to me. It was all about the goal. And that's one thing, that's kind of where my superpower comes in, is my discipline. And my wife always tell me, once I lock in on something, I'm locked in. You can't stop me from getting to where I want to go. So we locked in on getting them to that next level, and we've been able to accomplish that. And you'll be kind of seeing that, also in this journey. So what you can expect from me and this channel and what we doing in this mission is I'll be coming on weekly or bi-weekly, letting you know what's going on. Well, like I said, the good, the bad, and just letting you know what I'm doing. And hopefully I want to inspire individuals to come on this journey. I'm pretty sure that's one thing I'll say with my law enforcement brothers and sisters. They're so talented. And we go into law enforcement, which is an extremely stressful job, but we have so many talents. But with the different shifts and working 16 hours, sometimes at times longer than that, you just don't have time to follow your dreams. And before you know it, you're 10, 12 years in, you got kids that's growing up, and you never followed your dreams. So if this can help that next first responder or law enforcement officer or veteran get to the next level, I want to be that. I want to be that vessel. But understand that everything comes from God with me. And in my journey recently, I really got closer to God, and I know he's putting all this in me. I'm a faith guy. I ain't saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that, I do everything right, but he's leading the way. God is leading the way. So I want to make sure I glorify him through all this, through the successes. When it becomes extremely successful, he gets all the glory. He gets all the glory. So and within this, I'm gonna also be teaching, some financial literacy tips and things like that. You'll be seeing my journey with my son playing Division I basketball. He's one of the smallest Division I basketball players in the country this year. So you'll be going on that journey too. We might get him on here. So it's going to be crazy. It's September now, but the season starts soon. So our life really gets stressful then, because we're going to basketball games. I have another son that's playing varsity basketball as a junior. And another son who's in 7th grade who plays basketball. Also got a daughter who's grown. So, our life gets extremely stressful, but that just adds on to the journey. So welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Go on this journey with me. This will be the first episode, just the introduction. I'll get a little bit more in depth soon, but thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and let's go on this journey. D1.